What's up guys and welcome to today's video. So I've been meaning to make this video for a while now because I actually started doing YouTube after doing a bunch to this car already. That's why you see me mainly working on the coupe. But basically I just want to walk you guys through and show you everything that's already been done to the car. I know some I've done on YouTube, so you guys have seen the videos, but there's a lot of stuff that you guys didn't see because I started YouTube so late. So I guess we can start with the front because it's the front. We gotta start with the front, right? Work our way back. We'll start with the little stuff first that you can't even tell, but these sprayers are from a Forester, I believe. I don't know, you guys have to fact check me on that because there is a video, I just forget everything. We got a 6-over crest, hood vent right here, JDM grill. We did this badge ourselves because we have an OEM JDM pink badge right here, but as you can see, it's all damaged. That's mainly my fault because I wanted to scratch off all the 3M tape and I basically scratched the pink away. So instead of buying a new one for like, I don't know, like 150 bucks, we made our own. As you can see, it looks even better, I think. So moving on, we have a JDM bumper. We have our easy lip right here. I actually really like this thing. So we have the bumper, we have the JDM OEM lip, and then we have our easy lip right here. I'm showing you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I like the easy lip, but if you come over here, as you can see, it's sagging over here. I've tried fixing it, but I can't get it to hold itself up like that. If this corner were to hold itself up, I think it'd be perfect because this corner has held up perfectly fine. As you can see, we have P1 fogs with the OEM covers. So originally I had found the fogs and not the covers. So I bought the fogs and I bought some aftermarket covers, and honestly, they fit like shit. But right after buying those, I actually found these for sale and they were OEM. So I bought the whole kit from someone, ended up selling the fogs and the aftermarket covers for basically what I paid for them, so I didn't lose out on any money right there. We have JDM clear corners, the crystal lights that, I mean, it's a 2001, so obviously it came with them. We have, yeah, the clear corner, so we matched it with the clear turn signals and clear side markers right over here. Oh, and another thing, big thing that I forgot. This right here is an aluminum lightweight hood. So this thing, if I were to open it up, if I had the keys, if I open it up, look, one finger, and I can do this all day. Like, this thing weighs nothing. The only problem with that is, get over here, get over here. Can you see that? Can you see this little dimple in it? Try to.
Not really.
You can see right there, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, look at that. So that right there, this thing is so light. And I had trouble closing the hood one day, and I was so mad and stupid.
What's new?
You can't hear yourself because I'm like, brother.
What's new?
But basically, I was closing this, and it wouldn't close, so I slammed it one day, and we ended up with that. But I have a little PDR kit that I bought, so we're gonna try something out. To close it, now I know all I have to do is kind of like slam it, but not really. I kind of just have to like push it down just a hair like that, and then we're good to go. So got the front. Now we already had the hood open. I don't know why I closed it, but let's open it back up. As you can see, completely stock 2.5 RS. Let's see, what do we start with? The most obvious, right? We have red titanium hardware from Dress Up Bolts. If you guys have bought from Dress Up Bolts before, there is a kit for GC8s because of yours truly, because I basically let them borrow this car for a whole week. They got every bolt down. If you want to come here, we got different style bolts. So we have these bolts, and then we even have those little small ones right there. They're all different. Like there's nuts, not nuts there. Let's see, where can we find some nuts? Oh, like the battery, let's say. We got nuts there. So they literally went through every nut and bolt in the engine bay and made 3 stages to their kits. So you guys can go ahead and grab one. This car came completely stock. When I first got it, I did the maintenance on it. I did timing belt, I did head gaskets, I did a whole reseal basically. When I did that, I decided to paint the intake manifold red, and by the time I needed to go to Dress Up Bolts, they wanted me to basically make it look better because it was all flaking off. So instead of redoing it, all I did was I shaved it down and make it look super clean and OEM as possible. So we did that. They also wanted me to just make the engine bay look as clean as I could, so that's why it looks clean. I've driven this, what do you think, Emily, like
2 times.
2 times since they did this. I got these nice and painted. I got the intake was red, it was also flaking. Got that painted. Finally cleaned the air filter because it was nasty.
Gross.
It was gross. And then everything else I just washed and it cleaned up. We have the, I think it's 1st gen Legacy strut tower caps, I think they're called. I think it cleans up the engine bay a lot because you don't see anything there. Although if I were to take it off, all you would see is the camber adjustment plates from the coilovers. That's basically it, I think, for the motor. So whole front of the car is done. Now we move on to the side. We have 35% tint all the way around, except for the windshield, obviously. I wanted something dark, but not too dark, so I think this is perfect. We have power folding mirrors, which I haven't wired yet, and they've been on for years, so I have to get to that. We have front and rear aero guards, shaved antenna, as you can see. We don't have an antenna like normal 2.5 RSs do here in the United States. So we got that thing shaved off, so now it looks nice and sleek. Right here, we have 2004 STI BBSs. These are pretty rare and pretty pricey because they only came on 1-year STI because they are the 5i100s. We have the STI Brembos with the DBA rotors. Same thing here in the back. BBSs, Brembos, DBA rotors. In the back, I'm not running the STI hubs. What I'm doing instead is I have the adapter for the Brembo calipers, and then there's 2 ways to do with the parking brake. So you can either get oversized shoes or super thick walled rotors. I opted for the thick shoes because that way when I do swap over to the STI hubs, all I have to do is swap these things over and use the shoes that come on the STI hubs, which I have right over here. Once I'm done with that, I'll probably sell this setup with the thick shoes because I don't find them anymore. And I remember when I looked for them, they were super hard to find. So once I do the whole swap thing, I probably will get rid of them because I know somebody is gonna want them. So onto the back, as you can see right here, we have an OEM V6 wing. Cool story about this. When I first got the car, I was running a Duraflex, like an eBay Duraflex kit wing, and I got pulled over one time because this car is a 2001, and here in Virginia, anything newer than a 94 or 96 must have a third brake light, and that one, since it was a cheap aftermarket one, it was all one solid piece here, so it didn't have a third brake light. So I didn't know what to do, and out of nowhere, a JDM importer, like It's like 12 minutes away from the house, if that, honestly. Posted one of these for sale, OEM, for $150, and these things go for like $500-600. So I jumped on it, so that's how I got an OEM wing. Right over here, we have JDM taillights. We have an EDM bumper. It's basically the same thing as a JDM bumper, I believe. The only thing is that the cutout isn't there on the EDM bumpers, but it is on the JDM bumpers. We got the OEM spats that came with the bumper. We have Borla exhaust here in the back. We have, if you want to squat real quick, this is a 2007 STI OEM diffuser. I also have the JDM license plate bracket. So what's cool about this is you have to pop it open so you can slide the bumper out, which I think is pretty cool. I ended up cutting a little bit less than what I had to. As you can see, the cutout right here, or the outline, just so it could be a cleaner look. I think it came out pretty dope because you can't see anything behind it. We have OEM, it's kind of like a WeatherTech trunk mat. These come on the GF wagons, which is the GC body style in a wagon. We also have the OEM trunk light that you guys either saw or will see in the B-roll. We have the striker over here, and then when Dress Up Bolts had the car, they hooked me up. They did the striker bolts down in here, and then also the bolts over here. So that pretty much completes the outside of the car. The only thing left to do is go to the inside of the car. So for the interior, took my mic off. We're switching to a normal on-camera mic. So let's go ahead and see what's been done to the interior. First things first, we have a Momo steering wheel right here. Me and Emily's brother actually went to get some Volkswagen parts from some like older guy back in the day. We're talking like maybe like 8 years ago. And we saw the steering wheel and we asked him like, how much would you take for the steering wheel? And he said $20. So obviously I had to jump on that. I also have this is a JDM hub. I don't remember the name, but I remember this was back when I was like scared of anything having to do with wiring. I bought this specific one because it brought the resistor for the airbag, so I don't have an airbag light on. So that's the first thing I see when I'm driving. Second thing, obviously, cluster. This is a P1 cluster, as you can see right there. 160 miles per hour, 8.5K on the tach, and it says STI right there. We have this is, I think it's like a cheap eBay short shifter. It's called Rauco RZ, I think it's called. It brought the short shifter with the, I think this is a weighted shift knob because it's pretty heavy, so I'm just gonna go with that. We have the dual cup holders right here. We have the doubled in right there. JDM hazard switch. We have the dash cubby that comes out of a Forester, so we have the nice suede interior on that, as well as the glove box. We have the nice suede in there too. I'm sitting on STI seats, so this car has front and rear STI seats, as well as the STI blue carpet. I'm running WeatherTechs because I run them on every car because they're awesome. They're nice and thin. They're not too bulky and they fit perfectly. Another thing is these cars only came with one cup holder. I have 5 in this car. I have the 2 here that I already showed you. And then I have this centerpiece out of an 04 STI. I had to cut it up there to make it fit, but this was back when I was kind of like a beginner at this whole retrofitting stuff. So I do have a gap right there and here, which I think I'm gonna fix soon, either by getting a new piece of this and trimming less or adding plastic to that. Not sure yet, but we have that. We have a brand new extended armrest, which as you can see right here, I haven't even installed. It's not even here. I haven't installed the piece that comes with it so that it can clip on and I can use this little latch to release it. Moving on to the back. Again, STI seats. And we have the dual cup holders back here. I know it's dark so you guys can barely see. I have LED map light right there, as well as red LEDs all over the interior. So like the whole dash is red, and my battery just died, but the whole dash is red. The AC HVAC controls, all of that is red. My radio is red, and then I also just installed a red LED for my ashtray right there. One thing you can't see in this car is I have Aftermarket Tweeters, speaker in the front and in the rear. I went with a full Infinity speaker or sound system, I guess you can say. I have the Infinity 2 front speakers, 2 tweeters, 2 rear speakers, and then the sub that goes underneath the car, which I don't think you guys can see, but I have all of that. And honestly, the sound system, horrible on this thing. I don't know what I have to do. I'm planning on probably getting an amplifier. I'm not a big sound system guy, but I do like to crank my music. So I think I'm gonna get an amplifier and pray that that fixes my sound system issues, because it sounds better than it did, but it doesn't sound that good, honestly. So hoping that fixes it. Another thing I forgot to show you guys until now, we have the Sti Pedals that we installed not that long ago. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the whole car. I have gone through every piece of this car. I'm talking about, I've taken every body panel off of this car, put it on. I've taken the motor and trans and diff out of this car. I've taken the gas tank off of this car because it has a new gas tank in there. I've taken the whole interior apart. So literally almost every nut and bolt you can think of on this car has been touched by me. I've gone through everything on this car. It's crazy the amount of work that I've put into this car, and I've only driven it 7,000 miles, and I've owned it for 7 or 8 years now. So I don't drive it like at all, basically. So you guys might be wondering, what's next? It looks very nice, so now I want it to be fairly fast. So planning on doing a swap. Here in the garage I have an 05 STI motor that I've been messing with for the past like year and a half. As you can see, I powder coated the alternator black. I have a fluid damper that I put on, Killer Bee oil pan, pickup and baffle, Killer Bee coolant pipe right here. I have an IAG air oil separator right there. I have a lot for this car. We got full front and rear subframe right there out of an STI, GD STI. We have the hubs over there. That wiring right there is for when I put the motor out of this car in the coupe. We have an 07 STI trans right there, 6-speed. As you can see, it has the red 6-speed gear knob right there. I have the rear diff right here that I've been restoring as well. It's just collecting dust obviously, but it cleans up. In this box right here, I have a brand new OEM airbag delete for this car right here as well. And that's basically it. I basically have everything other than the wiring, which I have to disassemble this car again, get the wiring, send it to Brian at iWire. But other than that, I have every mechanical component that I need. It's just a matter of time. I know it's a lot of work, so I always dread even starting on the project, but that's what's coming next with this car. We're working on it. It's gonna happen. Just stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we're gonna get this motor out of here and trans and throw it into the coupe that I have sitting right there. I'm planning on blowing up the motor that's in the coupe right now using this right here. I want to put nitrous on it, and I want to step it up little by little, see how much it can take till it freaking blows up, and then I'll be satisfied, and I'll take everything out of this car, throw it in the coupe, and then we'll have no choice but to start swapping this thing because it's gonna be motorless. So those are my plans. We'll see when it all happens. But yeah, I just wanted to make a little video documenting everything that I've done to this car, get you guys up to speed, and tell you guys everything you've missed because you guys relate to the show, not my fault. As you can see, I am rocking a hashtag stay on the gas shirt. I'm working on starting like a little merch line so that anyone who wants to support me and get a nice cool t-shirt can go ahead and do so. I know some of you guys have already asked me for it. It's coming. Just weight on it. But yeah, like I said, I wanted to make this video kind of like to like buy time. I know I haven't been uploading. I've just been super busy and I hate not recording videos for you guys. I actually really enjoy doing this. So it kills me that I haven't been able to, but I'm making this to like buy me more time basically. Like I said, what I want to do in the upcoming weeks is nitrous system on the coupe. Love that motor, so we can start the swap. And I also have this Melee battery holder right here with a lightweight battery right here that I want to install in the trunk of the coupe. Honestly, I think I'm gonna be doing the battery relocation first, then blowing up the motor with the NOS, and then I have to plan how and when I'm gonna do everything, because while I'm wanting to do all that, I also have to install the wide body on the car, I have to do the body work on the car, and I have to paint the car. Once I do that, the exterior will be done, basically like this car. And then final plans for the coupe is just to have this setup in the coupe. I'm gonna run it with no cat so that hopefully I can gain just a little bit more power. I'm gonna do big plenum intake. We're gonna have an intake, like a ram intake. We're gonna have full headers, no cat, straight to the exhaust. And I want to just leave a small shot of nitrous on it. These RSs, honestly, they're not like super slow, which is awesome. And the coupe, being that it's gonna be lighter, it's gonna feel even better in the coupe. So that's gonna be the plans for the coupe. I think it's gonna stay like that until maybe one day when this motor gives out, I'll probably swap that car. But for now, I just want to throw this swap in the coupe with a little bit of nitrous, and I think it should be fast enough. And then obviously this car, STI swap, 6-speed. This one's going to be the very nice, very fast one. So that's the plan. That's really all I have for this video. Big shout out to Emily for recording the majority of this video. Give this video a like to support her. Yes. And as you can see, we have Benjamin over here. His shirt says new to the crew because he is the new member of the family. Melanie's actually outside playing with a friend, so that's why she's not in the picture right now. Oh, show them the back of my shirt here. So this is the back of the shirt. Like I said, I'm working on starting a little something for you guys so that you guys can pick up a shirt and rock some Stay on the Gas merch. So stay tuned for that. But that's really all for this video. So make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. And while you're down there, hit the little bell icon so you don't miss out on any future videos. You guys already know what's to come. So as always, keep moving forward and stay on the gas.